If you think moving abroad will solve all your problems, think again. Sabina Sidi, a mother of three and a small business owner, left her home country with a dream to provide a better life for her family. She moved to Saudi Arabia a year ago to work as a maid, but what she encountered was nothing short of a nightmare. This is the horrifying, heartbreaking, and almost unbelievable story of Sabina, whose job as a housemaid turned into a terrifying experience of abuse, betrayal, and unspeakable horrors. Prepare yourself. This is not an easy story to hear, but it is one that must be told. No one deserves what happened to Sabina, yet stories like hers remain hidden, silenced by fear and shame. Sabina arrived in Saudi Arabia full of hope. At first, her new job seemed fine. The first few weeks were manageable, and she was adjusting to a new life. She kept reminding herself that all the sacrifices would be worth it, that her family back home would have a better future. But then, everything changed. The family she worked for began treating her differently. The man of the house, her employer, began making advances toward her. It started with subtle touches, lingering stares, and suggestive comments. But soon, things took a dark turn. Emphasizing voice, Sabina was trapped in a house where the rules were simple: obey or suffer. She had no control over her own life, her own body. She was a prisoner, locked away from the world, with no one to hear her cries for help. She did everything she could to avoid her boss's advances. She ignored him, she refused him, but her resistance only made things worse. The abuse escalated. She was forced to endure insults, mistreatment, and even physical violence. The family told everyone in the house to treat her with contempt, to speak to her harshly, to ignore her existence, to break her spirit. And then the beating started. One day, she was brutally attacked, slapped, beaten, humiliated. She wasn't just a maid in their house, she was their prisoner. And when she tried to escape, they called people to kill her. Imagine the terror. Imagine knowing that no one was coming to save you. Imagine waking up every day, knowing that today might be your last. Sabina knew she couldn't survive there any longer. She pleaded to be transferred to another job, hoping for a fresh start. And for a moment, it seemed like things might get better. Her new workplace was different. A beautiful house, a comfortable room, even a week off before starting work. She thought, maybe, just maybe she was safe. But she was wrong. So very, very wrong. One day, her new boss called her into a room. He asked her a strange question. Do you know the job you came here to do? Sabina was confused. She thought she was there to cook, clean, and take care of the house. But then, he took her to a different part of the property. There he showed her his breeding business, fish, ducks, pigeons, and then the dog house. It was built like a human home, and inside were 4 large dogs. Then came the words that shattered her world. I brought you here to sleep with these dogs. Sabina's mind refused to accept what she was hearing. Surely it meant she was to care for them, feed them, clean their space. Surely this was some sick joke. But then, the truth revealed itself in the most horrifying way. Her job was not just to care for the dogs. It was to have sexual relations with them. She was frozen in shock. How could such a thing even be possible? When she expressed her fear and disgust, her boss only laughed. These dogs, he said, have feelings too. They have desires too. Sabina had survived the worst kind of abuse from human. But this was beyond comprehension. She knew she had to escape. She knew she had to find a way out before it was too late. But she was trapped. No passport, no money, nowhere to run. What would you do? How would you escape? Sabina knew that if she didn't act fast, she wouldn't survive. She had to be careful. She had to be smart. For days, she acted normal. She did her work. She waited for the right moment, and then she made her move. It wasn't easy, But against all odds, she managed to escape. She found help. She found a way home. Sabina is back in her home country now, but the scars remain. She was one of the lucky ones. She survived. But there are many who don't. Many who remain trapped in the shadows, suffering in silence. Many who live this nightmare every single day. Human trafficking, forced labor, sexual exploitation. These things are happening every day to people like Sabina, to people searching for a better life. The world needs to know. The world needs to listen. If you or someone you know is in danger, please seek help. There are organizations that can help victims escape. And to everyone watching, stay aware, stay informed. No one deserves to go through what Sabina did. If you found this story important, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's spread awareness. Let's be the voice for those who have none. This is not just a story, this is real life. Resources for human trafficking and abuse victims.